second going here. Today, we are going to talk about an innocent man who sits in prison, not only in prison, but on death row. Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering, well, if he's innocent, why is he sitting on death row? If he's innocent, why has he been on death row all these years? If he's innocent, you don't understand the court systems, for one. It's very hard to get into the court system and get your case heard. It's not near as easy as what people think. And furthermore, when you have a legal team who seems to do what they can to harm you rather than help you, it further complicates the process. Today, we're going to look at Gary's case. We're going to talk about some of the family findings, some of the private investigator findings, the evidence. This is being streamed on YouTube and on TikTok. I am working on this case. I am a ministry, a pastor. I was a jailhouse lawyer, did a lot of legal work. Also trying to get the word out there and being a voice for Gary and the family. And even, it's not even, and let's just add a wider scope. The victims' families need justice too. They need to know that the right killer is in prison and not an innocent man that's getting ready to be executed any moment if something don't happen. I don't do a lot of asking for money. It's not my thing. I'm one of those, if it's meant to be, God's going to provide and it's going to show up. But right now, I need to do that extra little bit to see what I can do to raise some funds, because I honestly think I can help this man and this family and the family of the victims to finally have justice in this case after 30 years. But in order to do that, I got to be able to dedicate all my time, and as much time I have to be able to cover my bills. If I can't cover my bills, I'm going to have to break off and go do side jobs or whatever to work and pay bills, because my ministry work, I don't pay myself from the ministry except maybe a bare minimum if I absolutely have to. I will try to go out and work on the side and do something to earn money to pay my own bills. I don't like even giving myself a penny off of the ministry. This is about helping people. It's about spreading the word of Christ, and it's not about padding my pocket. So anyway, all donations will go to my bills, personal. It will go to anything we need for this case, and any excess will go to be done with as the family wishes. So, it's all the money will go into the case. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? So let's get into this case a little bit. So now I've told you guys he's innocent. Lopez, TikTok, yes, religious people do believe in mental health. In fact, if I'm just going to put it out there as a pastor myself, if you don't believe in mental health, you're probably not even really sound in your religion and practicing your religion correctly. But oh man, Kenny, that would help a lot. We'll just have to figure out how to connect. Maybe we can get Rob or something to swing something out. But yes, religious people should absolutely believe in mental health. And religion is, and I don't want to get off on another subject here today, but I do want to touch on this. religion shouldn't be, it should be edifying, it should be uplifting, it shouldn't drag you down or anybody else around you down. And if it does, then you really should take a deep spiritual look into whatever your religion is. And I respect everyone of any religion. So um, sorry, I'm checking TikTok messages back here. I can't see the phone over here. Anyway, um, okay, that works too. That works too. Thank you, Kenny. Look, this man, he's even going to bring it to me. He lives about 40 minutes away. You know, there'll be a few days. See, that's the support we need. Every little bit helps. It's, I just, like I said, I have less than $350 of impending bills. It's got to be by the end of this week. Other than that, I'm good for a little bit. So anything I can raise helps. Every little penny. The family, um, the family does appreciate everything, and I like I said, I got no charge. They have sent some money too. They're helping as well, so don't think the family's not helping. But they have a lot going on and stuff, and a legal battle of any stature is expensive, even with so-called public defenders and stuff. So, 1992, there was a murder of Tommy Griffin and Connie Brennan. The only evidence they have. So on Friday, they had been seen together. All that Gary and his uncle had bailed Tommy out of jail after a supposed altercation between the three of those, and Tommy ended up on arrest on a public drunk with some other people who law enforcement never got their information. Um, and he was arrested. He was in distress and stuff. That's why law enforcement stopped. He seemed to be, you know, there was like they needed attention, find out what's going on. The body was found of Tommy on Monday. The initial investigators said that the bullet wound was fresh and rigor mortis was in effect. And now I understand that don't mean a lot to some of you people. That's very significant because rigor mortis is not a lasting effect of death. Rigor mortis starts dissipating within 24 to 36 hours of death, after death, depending on, it begins within a few hours and dissipates within 24 to 36. So he had to have been sometime Monday or Sunday, maybe even Saturday night, he might have been killed. So that don't add up. That no longer matters that they picked him up on Friday. There's no forensic evidence. The medical examiner has since been disbarred and fired, and because he lied, not just in this case, but in several others. In this case, he never directly examined the body. Now, this is the state's witness, the medical examiner, the professional witness, the one that the juries are paying attention to, because this is supposed to be the expert. This is a man with a white jacket and makes a lot of money and is supposed to know what he's doing. And they took him at his word that he got the time of death from organ slides. Now, if any of you know anything about medicine, that is scientifically impossible. And that was furthermore proven after he was removed from his position, his license revoked, and all that. The current medical examiner has said in statements that is scientifically impossible. But he set a time of death for Friday. Now, also, there was Tommy's trailer house was burnt down on Friday evening around 9 o'clock. Nobody was charged in an arson. Now, wouldn't you think from history, no matter what the state, no matter what the case, is it not the routine that when you get arrested for something, especially a major crime, but even any kind of crime, they hit you with every single charge they can. Now, the second victim was found days later. Connie Branham was found later in the week. She had been killed in the car. She'd been burned in the car. No cause of death has ever been determined from her. It never was determined. There was nothing that linked Gary to the crime at all. At all. Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, they did find a shell, it said, connected with ballistics to the uncle, but wait a minute. They don't know if she was shot, so that's not really relevant. They were friends. That's the other thing I forgot to mention is Gary and his uncle, Tommy was a friend of Gary's. Tommy was a friend of Connie's. So he had no motive for murder. He had no reason. Now, while all this is being said and all this is being done, there's the witnesses that they have said they saw a white truck with two men. They can't identify either man. And supposedly a woman saw a transfer of a weapon from a car to a truck from inside her house at night in flat dark with her lights on in the living room through her window 275 feet away. That is almost a football field. And not a lot of lighting outside. So that's not really possible. I can't see in broad daylight. I measured off from the back of my house and approximately 275 feet, and that puts it at the back of our shop property. There is no way I can see something tell what something is if it's being transferred in between vehicles, especially people around it and all that. It wouldn't happen. I don't think I could do it in the daylight, nevertheless in the dark. There was another suspect that had never been investigated who had motive, who also has a white truck. And when the witnesses were asked, was it this truck or this truck, they couldn't say because both trucks looked alike. And again, it's important, nobody saw the two people in the truck. They didn't get a good description of them. So we just have all this. Now it gets even worse. You think already, how is this man sitting on death row? What the heck is going on? He has alibis. He was not, the part of the reason Gary got convicted is because he was always with his uncle. So they put him with his uncle all weekend, put the uncle and everything. That was part of the reason. The trials were asked to be separated. They said, no, we can't separate the trial because we'll have to let Gary go. The attorney that was originally on the case went up before the court and said he's not qualified. And yet the court made him continue. Yeah, I'm on the live. What, Jason? I'm busy. Okay. We'll go out and have your room, and I'll be up there in a little bit. Okay. Did you finish all your food and all your water and everything? Okay. Good job. Thank you. Love you. All right. Sorry, nephew break. No, I don't want no. I'm not going to get into politics. Didn't even realize I had that ad on. Um, yeah, I'm definitely not going to get into politics. But that's part of the problem we're having getting this man back into court is people like our current administration. They don't believe in our Constitution anymore. Yeah, they do, right? but but anyway, I'm not going to get into politics by any means. So this man, the attorney, set up and said he wasn't qualified. He had never his experience, legal experience. He was a civil lawyer. He had done some misdemeanor cases, one low-level felony case. Never anything to the magnitude of a murder case. Nevertheless, a capital case with death penalty. And he told the courts he wasn't qualified, and the court said, "Well, we don't care. You're going to do it." That's an issue. That's a Sixth Amendment violation. Then appellate counsel is so inadequate that their filings, it sounded like they're written by the state. I've seen stuff by district attorneys and attorney generals that were more in favor of the defendant than anything his attorney wrote. They had legitimate arguments, like the Sixth Amendment argument. They had a legitimate argument that the death penalty wasn't taken before a jury. The elements and stuff weren't taken before a jury. The aggravated element, which is a violation of Apprendi versus New Jersey, but the attorneys didn't argue it right. They were late in filing their briefs. He was granted a new trial. He was granted a new trial because of the medical examiner lying on the stand and all that, and the forensic evidence was a big key that their so-called forensic evidence, and but his supposed legal counsel didn't file the paperwork in time, so now he don't get a new trial. Now he waits for an impending execution date coming within the weeks. He's innocent. I've talked to the alibis. I've talked to the private investigator that was hired by the family and blocked by his legal team because they were uncovering too much corruption and problems in this case that hasn't been handled properly. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, we will be talking to Gary himself from death row. He will be calling us, and we will be doing a live simulcast on both platforms again. This needs attention. This needs everybody's help. Everybody has a voice. There are petitions, and I will put some links to the petitions and stuff in my channel on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all my social media accounts for Bars to Bricks, personal, and everything else. And I will be trying to get people, please sign petitions, contact media, anything to gain awareness to this situation. This is a man's life. This is an innocent man's life that we're talking about. And we're talking about the injustices of the families of the victims that were murdered. There's family members that contact Gary and that believe he's innocent, but yet the courts won't listen to them either. Also, there's all this new evidence, and his legal team refuses to do anything with it. So we're obviously we're going to have to do something about that. It's just there's so much, and I will be honest with you people. Awesome. CEO of Industries. That's awesome. I like that. So, we need to do what we can to get justice to this, and that's what I'm doing. I'm researching laws. I'm working with several attorneys, the private investigator, private investigator Michelle Heather Cohen. She's on the investigative discovery and Discovery Plus program, Secrets, Lies, and Private Eyes. Heather Michelle Cohen. She's awesome. Um, amazing. She's a bounty hunter and private investigator in the state of Tennessee. And so um, it's going to be a really interesting interview with her tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we have 2 interviews tomorrow. Gary Wayne Sutton himself from Death Row. You're going to hear what Gary has to say and what the nightmares of being on death row for the last 27 years for a crime he didn't commit. Of his friend he never got to mourn because he was incarcerated for killing his friend. That has to be a troubling situation. Soon we'll also be having some interviews with Carolyn. She was with him that weekend. She knows more than anybody he's not guilty. They were together the whole weekend. Again, there was witnesses that saw them together without the uncle throughout the weekend, and nobody would listen. It didn't go in line with the state's case. It's sad. It's sad. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that, the share and everything. I got you, bud. I appreciate the heck out of it. But it's a terrible state. When I was first contacted about this, when I first heard about this case, I'm hearing all these details, and in my mind, I'm like, these people are full of it. There's no way. We are in the United States of America. We're supposed to have the best justice system. We're this and that. Don't get me wrong. As all of you know, I've been on the other side of the law before I changed my life, and God saved me. But yet, I know the injustice happened, but there's just so much. And a death penalty case at that, there is no way this is true. I'm telling you, people, every bit of it's true. Every bit of it. I have all the evidence here, and I'm going to be doing a video and presenting some of the evidence throughout the video, and I will cross-post it as well. I'm telling you, when you read some of this stuff, just hearing about the case, if you're not scared right now that something like this can happen to you, then that's just crazy, because I am, especially as a felon. It don't take much to put someone's already been in prison back in prison. And there isn't any way this man should be sitting in prison for burglary. Let me just put it this way. Even if the man's guilty, there is no evidence he should not be sitting on death row. We are in the United States of America. There's supposed to be burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't even have a reasonable assumption that he might have done it. Nevertheless, a reasonable doubt. But like I said, I went into this case as I'm the judge, or I'm a juror or something, and I went in looking to prove them wrong. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I was astonished, and to see some of the evidence is actually in court transcripts and part of the record and all that. It's scary. It's scary. And as a pastor, as someone who's done a lot of law work, jailhouse lawyer, had some decent wins. I've won a couple cases, about 3 cases in the Kansas Supreme Court, several in the appellate courts, district courts, but I've never done on anything of this case to this magnitude. But I, at the same time, Um, but at the same time, it just I have to do what I can to help. I don't believe in coincidences and stuff like that, as much as considering the situation that I was in and where I was at after the ministries just took a major loss because, uh, well, we got a property that was sold right out from under us, getting ready to open up a coffee shop, and had over $5,000 invested in this, and we lost it all. Um, right now, it's a legal process of getting it back, but it's I was at the point of shutting down the ministries, and Carolyn contacted me with this case, and I just had to do something. It put that fire back. It brought my ministries back. It's bringing a lot of stuff, um, making a lot of things happen for good. But the main thing is this case for Gary right now. Um, like I said, the Tennessee legislature, they had suspended the death penalty till review of the lethal injection system process and all that to make sure it was humane. Um, but they have not done. Um, but they just recently ruled that to go back ahead with the execution. So we're fighting a deadline. Any time Gary can get an execution date. He might be getting one right now. We don't know. So we are up against the clock, people. This is a human life. Please, please, please help. Please. I don't care if you can donate a few dollars. I don't care if you can pray for us. I don't care if you share the story. However you can help, please do. This is an important case, and if you're someone, especially in the state of Tennessee, that is a licensed attorney in the state of Tennessee, please contact me. We need to talk to you if you're willing to take this case. The family is not rich, so they can't afford a big dollar lawsuit. Any attorney with any common sense can take this case and get this man free and get it won, and they will. I guarantee you, they'll help themselves while they help somebody else. I uh, I really appreciate everybody watching here today. I'm not gonna keep everybody forever. Um, I just wanted to kind of go live, tell a little bit about Gary and Gary's situation. We're going to be doing random lives here periodically. Um, I'm probably going to um, work on it here later, and I'll have it going. I may not be interacting as much as I research on the case, trying to gain awareness, trying to gain funds and stuff for the case. Um, I really thank you guys for watching. Each and every one of you mean a lot to me. All my followers on TikTok, my subscribers on YouTube, uh, everywhere. It don't matter if you're in my local community or across the world. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate everything you guys do for the ministries. Um, I appreciate in advance everything you guys will do for Gary and to help get him free. This is, like I said, it's a nightmare. I can't imagine. Can you imagine being in that family's position? The daughter that hasn't known her dad except for prison because she was a year old when all this happened, when he got arrested, and her dad's innocent. And the stuff that she had to go through, going through school and all that. You know how kids are. She probably got bullied about it. We're going to try to get her story too. I appreciate all you guys. Like I said, anything you can do to help, I really appreciate it. I need to get off of here, and I need to get back on my research so I can continue to help him, and emailing anybody and everybody I can that maybe bring attention to this case. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you.